Senators will be in order. Senators will address the chair.
Mr. President.
Senator Warner.
Mr. President, what does the gentleman want of this body?
I'll tell you what I want. I want 1 week. Just 1 week to bring proof of the charges into this chamber that I brought against Mr. Bailey. And I want the Senate to promise me that they will not pass the deficiency bill for that 1 week.
Will the senator yield?
For a question only.
Has the senator the effrontery to stand there convicted and in disgrace and try to force the postponement of this deficiency bill?
For 1 lousy week?
Mr. President, I appeal to the senator. Is he fully aware that this bill has been months in both houses, delayed and delayed?
Mr. President, if the Senate yields to this kind of blackmail at this time from this man, whatever credibility this body has left will be totally destroyed.
Mr. President, it is an insult to this body to have to listen. An insult to our colleague, Senator Payne. And I, for one, will follow the senator's example and refuse to remain in this chamber as long as that man holds the floor.
Senator Jack.
It looks like I'm just going to have to present my case from this floor, Mr. President. That is, if you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, will carry my remarks accurately. In other words, sir, wild horses are not going to drag me off of this floor until I've at least had the opportunity to present my evidence to the people of my state. And I don't care if that takes me for the rest of this year.
Filibuster!
Joe, get this. Billy Jack got the floor just there ready to throw him out, and he's holding it.
Filibuster.
Just there.
Billy Jack is filibustering in the Senate.
Farrell, listen, you gotta give me everything he's saying to the networks, okay?
Consider it done.
Thanks.
Great story.
Oh, Ralph.
Saunders, I promise you they're going to hear about this in Patagonia.
They better.
The entire Senate got up and walked out.
Oh, Ralph, come on. Now, that's straight stuff. You gotta kick it up a little bit. Get on his side. Fight for him, huh? You guys understand what this is all about, please.
Joe, scratch all that and take this. The most titanic battle of modern times has broken out in Washington. And you, young David, without a slingshot, has risen to do battle on the Senate floor with not one mighty Goliath, but many.
Oh, Ralph, I love you.
That they are endowed with certain inalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Mr. President, we seem to be alone, sir. Now, I'm not complaining for social reasons, but I think it would be a shame if these gentlemen missed the evidence that I would like to present. So I would like to call your attention to the standing rules of the Senate. Rule 5, Section 3. Sir, it says, and I'm quoting now, if a quorum shall not be found to be present, then a majority of the senators present may direct the sergeant at arms to request and, if necessary, to compel the attendance of the absent senators, unquote. Mr. President, I guess it looks like I am the majority, so I so compel.
Well, the absence of a quorum being suggested, clerk will call the roll.
And where the hell is that long-distance call?
We're trying to get it.
Will you do me a favor and get more direct lines out of here? Chick, have you got hold of Hendricks?
They're looking for him.
Looking for him? Now, look, why the hell isn't an editor at his desk where he belongs? Joe. Joe, why aren't you on the Senate floor?
Jim, that boy is talking to the state now. The whole country. The story is out.
So what? The fight is out in the open.
That's what I
all.
mean. If he can turn public opinion against us, if any part of this sticks,
He won't even get started. I'll make public opinion out there in 5 hours. I've done it all my life. Now, look, will you leave public opinion to me, Joe? Now, go on, get back to the Senate there and keep those honorable gentlemen in line.
Jim, I hit him from the floor with everything I know. I don't have the stomach for it anymore.
Now, you listen to me, Joe. If he starts to convince those senators, you might just as well blow your brains out. Because this is it. The whole works. We've got to smash that guy and bury him.
Jim, Henrik's on line 4.
Go on back to the Senate, Joe. Go on. Now, where the hell have you been? All right, never mind. Look, I want you to line up every newspaper, TV, and radio station in the state. I want you to call in all the IOUs, yeah. I wanted to keep everything Billy Jack says out of the media. Defend the party. What do you mean with what? He's a criminal convicted by the Senate and now blocking the relief bill and starving people. He's one of those crazy radicals making a mockery of our courts and institutions. With what, he asks. And buy up every minute you can of every station over 2 watts in the state. And keep those commercials spouting against him. Look, I don't give a damn what your problems are. Just do it.
Gentlemen, this can't go on. It's ridiculous.
Fantastic for one nuclear plant.
Why don't we throw Section 40 out and him with it?
What do you mean, to repudiate Joe here?
Henry, you've got to get that man off the floor.
Come on, boys. You know as well as I do, as long as Mr. Jack holds that floor legitimately, he's going to hold it. And if anyone were to ask me, I'd say the young fella's making a lot of sense.
Sense? You call blackmail sense, Henry?
Look, Joe, I didn't like this radical from the beginning. But if the man weren't sincere, how could he stage such a good fight against these impossible odds?
Oh, that's just fine, Martin. That's just fine. I'm glad to hear that. That after 20 years of working with you fellas, you're ready to take his word over mine. That's what it means. If he's just that much right, then I'm totally wrong.
No, Joe, but isn't there just some way we can get that nuclear plant out of there, just so we can get the deficiency bill through?
It's not a question of a nuclear plant. It's a question of my honor and the integrity of the Select Committee. And yes, and the Senate itself. But if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Throw out Section 40. I'll resign from the committee and we'll be through with it.
Wait a minute. Wait. Now, this is a lot of nonsense. Now, Joe's right. A deal is impossible. We have got to go on the way we have been doing and break him. Keep him talking. No relief. And maintain a watch in relays. I mean, after all, how long can a man stand on his legs? Is that the way you feel, John?
For once, we're in total agreement. Charlie?
Right. I couldn't agree more.
Gentlemen, it's time for leave the men on the floor.
Now tell me, does anybody in this chamber really... I guess we have the night shift coming on, Mr. President. Thank you, Jimmy. Oh, Mr. President, I am very happy to learn that the Senate rules provide for human frailty and that I am allowed under the rules a 2 or 3 minute break for emergencies. Mr. President, right now it is such an emergency.
Charlie, I want the entire morning edition front page. Nothing but a blast to shove them off the floor. And I want telegrams, you understand? Telegrams pouring in to Senator Payne's office. Now, here's how we do it. A convicted thief purportedly representing you has totally crippled the United States Senate. You got that?
Now we come to the real reason that Senator Foley sealed this file. Oh, ugly as the facts are about contributions and the kickbacks, that's penny ante stuff compared to the real reason that Foley classified all of this as top secret. No, gentlemen, the real reason lies here in this file. What does it reveal? Oh, nothing much. Just the astonishing fact that over a 10-year period, at 58 different nuclear plants, there were at least 141 technical mishaps that came dangerously close to a complete meltdown. Now, let me put that for you in another way, gentlemen. All the while that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission was pointing to 3 Mile Island as proof of the safety of their program, for after all, no one got killed, right? And was assuring us under oath that it was a freak accident that could never happen again. They had, in their possession, here in Foley's file, full knowledge that there was an accident on the average of at least once a month, each and every month for the last 10 years.